Well, it is homecoming tonight for the Childersburg Tigers taking on Elmore County. And joining us this morning is head football coach, athletic director Jonathan Beverly. Coach, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Tough task last weekend, but you guys had a chance to win that football game.
We did. We had opportunities to win the game. It was a one-possession game the majority of the night, and we missed on some red zone opportunities that could have won it for us. But we played well in spots, and we just got to find a way to capitalize on some more opportunities.
You know, Tallahassee is a tough place to play, and they've got an excellent football program there.
Absolutely, very tough place to play. Coach Battles II does a great job with that program, and his kids were prepared to play, and ours were prepared to play, and the ball bounced their way just a couple more times.
We talk about the difficulty in Region 3 and Class 4A, and man, Tallahassee in the top 10, and usually they're one of the top teams in the state of Alabama in Class 4A. Your thoughts of the game last Friday? You talked about missed opportunities to begin with.
Yeah, we had 5 red zone trips that night, and only connected on 2 of them. So we scored touchdowns on 2 of our red zone trips. We had a missed field goal and got stopped on downs the other 2. So just connecting on 2 more of those opportunities makes a big difference. And that's one of our goals week in and week out, is to have 100% efficiency in the red zone, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. And we didn't get that done, and now it's more evident why that's a top goal for us.
Can you, after looking at the tape, pinpoint any specifics as to why struggles in the red zone?
Well, as you know, things get tighter in the red zone, and when you're playing a really good defense and they shorten the field on you, it gets even more difficult. So a lot of the credit does go to Tallahassee. They've got a great defense, but I told our kids and I told our staff, I take the majority of that blame as well, because play calling in the red zone took some chances that maybe we normally wouldn't take, and took the ball out of the hands of some of our playmakers in those situations, and that's a lesson that I've learned a week later. So I'm going to do a little bit better job this upcoming week with red zone play calling.
Who's some of the kids that stood out last Friday night?
Thought Jalen Kidd had another great game at quarterback. Made some plays late in the game that kept us in it. Takari Kennebrew had another good week on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. And really been impressed with Jacoby Brown, our middle linebacker, who's just continued to get better week by week by week. So those are some guys that have stood out, that have played well.
28-19 loss at the hands of Tallahassee last Friday night. Another region game tonight at the stadium, John Cox Stadium. It's the first homecoming in the brand new stadium, but it's a key region matchup for you too.
It is. And I hate to use the term, must win this early in the season, but the reality is in our region, each region game is huge, and so you're looking to gain that edge each week and gain the tiebreaker over the team that you're playing. And because in our region, last year there was a 3-way tie and everybody had 5-2 region records, and then you go into all these different tiebreakers. So being able to have that edge late in the season to where you can say, all right, head to head, we beat Elmore County. So that gives you that first tiebreaker off the bat. So every region game at this point is a must-win situation. You want to go ahead and win. You want to go ahead and have that first tiebreaker.
And it's homecoming, and a lot of the old grads will be coming in to town for the matchup tonight at John Cox Stadium. Kick at 7 o'clock. That is our game of the week tonight over in Childersburg. And the Tigers 1-2, 1-1 in region play. Elmore County's 1-3, 1-1 in region play. It's a must-win for them as well.
It is. I know it's a game that Coach Dean has circled on his calendar as being a must-win in this situation. So they're coming off a win against Hanley last week, and so they're feeling pretty good. And it's just one of those situations where both of our programs need a win tonight.
Looking at the film, what impresses you about Elmore County?
They've got 2 really good tailbacks, 2 backs in the backfield that do a really good job running the football. And without a doubt, they're hard to tackle. And so we've got to do a good job of rallying to the football. We've got to do a good job of pursuing the football. And we've got to do a good job of tackling tonight.
Of course, coming off the loss last week to Tallahassee, the work this week, been satisfied with it?
We've had a really good week of practice. And homecoming is one of those difficult weeks. I think any high school football coach in America will admit that homecoming is both the best and worst week of high school football. You know, it's exciting, it's a lot of fun, but you also deal with some distractions and lack of focus. And so I've been really proud of our kids this week because they've been able to, at 3 o'clock, filter everything else out. So when they've showed up to the field house to get ready for practice, they've been focused. And I've been really proud of them this week for that. That's the difference between last year's team and this year's team. Last year, the week of homecoming, we didn't have that focus. And now, you know, a year later, you know, we're more mature, you know, a little bit more seasoned. And so our kids have focused this week. They've done a great job of preparation. And so we're excited to see where we're at tonight.
Coach Jonathan Beverly, the head football coach and athletic director at Childersburg High School, the Tigers homecoming tonight against Elmore County. You mentioned early on about quarterback Jalen Kidd. How has he improved? How have you seen him progress early this season?
Well, he's dynamic. He makes plays with both his arms and his legs. And so really, I think for him naturally, there's that natural expectation that he's going to make the plays with his legs, and he tries to just make all the plays with his legs, as opposed to, you know, giving it just a half second longer to develop and be able to throw the football. So he's done a great job of becoming a little bit more patient. He's done a great job of facilitating a little bit more instead of trying to make every play. And so that just, you know, it makes him better. And what we try to tell him is, you know, when you don't have to make every play, then when you do decide to make the play, the defense doesn't have all of their eyes on you at that point.
Kennebrew and Jones, two big play guys themselves. They are.
And we're doing a better job of getting the balls in their hands. They're tough to cover and they're tough to tackle. And so being able to protect long enough to get the ball in their hands has been a big issue for us. And so we're getting better with that.
You talked about linebacker Jacoby Brown, others defensively that have stood out so far this season.
Terry Thomas, our strong safety, had a big interception last week that set us up for our first score. And he's been steady all year long and played really well in the secondary for us. A freshman who's played really well for us, Zay Youngblood at corner. Who stepped up, had a good summer in 7-on-7, and has done some really good things, up until this point. And he's playing ahead of schedule. You never really.
Are you hesitant to play freshmen?
Yes. I mean, coming out of spring practice, when you first really get to evaluate freshmen, you kind of just think to yourself, okay, these guys are junior varsity guys. They're but throughout the summer. He just, of course, he didn't miss a single day of summer workouts. He's there every day. And then all of a sudden, we get into fall camp, and he's just standing out and making plays. So on one hand, in general, yes, you're very hesitant to play freshmen. But then when you have a freshman like this that comes in and shows you, yes, I'm ready to play, I'm eager to play, I'm prepared to play, then, it takes that anxiousness, that anxiety away from you, and you want to go ahead and put them in.
Special teams, you've been successful at least through the first couple of games, 3 onside kick attempts, but yet missed a field goal this past week.
Missed a field goal this past week, and that was a rare slip up for our special teams units. Our special teams units have done a phenomenal job all year long, and we expect that to continue. And Will Foy, our top kicker, he's going to bounce back. He's had a great week of practice. Every single day he's put the ball right back into that spot where he missed the field goal last week and drilled it through. So he's showing some mental toughness with that as well. And kickers are kind of like golfers. Everything's mental for them. So he's shown some mental toughness this week, and he's bounced back and he's done a good job.
Homecoming tonight for Childersburg Tigers at John Cox Stadium. Kick at 7 o'clock. Elmore County, the opponent. Finally, keys to success tonight.
We've got to be able to connect on all our red zone attempts. Red zone efficiency is going to be huge. And then turnover differential. We've got to force some turnovers tonight, and we've got to find a way to hold on to the football. And
to keep your team focused, you mentioned his homecoming, you're undefeated at the new John Cox Stadium, but this region game tonight is very key to the overall success this season.
Absolutely. So staying focused, limiting distractions. Really, I can't wait until 3:05 to get us all together and kind of get us away from some of the other distractions. And I tell them, hey, there's a homecoming dance after the game Friday night, so you can go celebrate all you want after we take home this win. And
by the way, how did you dress this week when they had dress-up day at Childersburg?
Coach Bedoris, we had twin day. Coach Bedoris was my twin on Tuesday, and that was the only day I was able to really participate in. I didn't have any throwback stuff. I actually got rid of all my old clothes last summer, so I didn't have any throwback stuff.
Coach Jonathan Beverly, head football coach and athletic director at Childersburg High School. The Tigers and Elmore County tonight kick 7 o'clock. That's our game of the week. Pregame starts at 6:30. Coach, we'll see you tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
More Daybreak right after this.